Trying to make sure that I've got it centered, but I really don't think I do. And to be honest, the video that this is going to be, it's really not about the aesthetic or the lighting or my appearance. I'll go for the intro like real quick and just tell you, basically I've been wanting to film a life catch-up video or a video about where I'm at. Obviously I don't delve too much into my personal details of my personal life online, though I've shared like the base of where I might be at. You never hear the details. I never come on and go like, look, everything's a mess, because I don't like to spread that negative energy. But at the same time, I've been feeling like expressing it for quite some time. Very apprehensive, obviously, to put a real life chatty video to do with my feelings and position career wise and stuff. But it's a very scary thing to go and put this on the internet. But at the same time, the whole purpose in me doing YouTube is to try and help others or make others feel like they can relate to someone, because I know for me, YouTube has been the one place that I have been able to go in the past and go, oh, you know, maybe I'm not alone in the fact that I have a phobia / serious anxiety issue with work. Or maybe I'm not the only one or maybe I'm not the only one who's pissed off. Maybe I'm not the only one who's pissed off at the fact that I'm given my uttermost best in life and still feeling like I'm just getting fucking kicked down every fucking time. Maybe I'm not the only one that's tired of working and trying to do college at the same time while financially surviving and not being able to. You know, maybe I'm not the only one, basically. And that's the whole point in my videos. I just hope that whether it's to do with a toxic relationship you've been in, anxiety to do with your career, or you just watch me and you go, I kind of feel like I have a friend of some sort by watching my videos. If you feel like that, even, that would be amazing. You know, I've decided it's time to start making videos that are scary to make and that are honest and that do go into my past in detail, because there's a lot of other people who might have gone through the same thing, may go through the same thing in future, and out of all of them, I would like to think that maybe one person would benefit. This video is going to be a open and honest chat about where I'm at right now. Basically a big vent for me, but also a few like things I might have learned along the way that maybe you could benefit from. And yeah, I'm just gonna be pretty much open and honest. Where I'm going to start, I'm not sure, because I literally just decided to record this. I had it put in my to-do list for tomorrow, and I was like, you know what? You're not going to feel this way tomorrow, or this exact way tomorrow. Today has been a day, and I don't feel you can express yourself as well or talk about a mood / event / feeling. I don't feel that you can do it as well unless you're in that feeling or in that mood, in the moment. So yeah, here's hoping that I can get some structure to this, because I have not planned an ounce of it. I'm just going to start. I'm going to start around a topic that I feel is one of the biggest things that has been affecting me majority of my life since it was able to affect me, since I've been able to join the working world. I've had majorly low self-esteem and confidence from a young age. Like, looking back at my childhood, I was never confident. I always felt inferior. Like, I always felt like less smart, less funny, less pretty than anyone I knew, and it's always affected the quality of my life. Like, even as a kid, where I used to play Gaelic football for a short period of time and was told I was really good at it. I was really good. For someone who had never played before, I went to the training and they were like, potential, you know, and I got quite good. Same with hip hop. I did hip hop. What else have I done? Irish dancing. And the Gaelic I was about 12. The Irish dancing, I was about 5, 6, maybe 7. Every time I've done it, I've quit. Anytime I've really done any sport or activity that's involved groups, socializing, other people basically, I've ended up leaving and always felt self-conscious performing in front of others, and just always thinking that I'm stupid or dumb. It's a very hard thing to explain, but I always just feel like if someone watches me cook, like in my own house, anything, I get conscious and I'm like, they're judging me. Oh, they're judging me. Or like, I'm probably doing this wrong. There's always a feeling of not good enoughness. Even I do, a bit of a perfectionist, I suppose. Like, anything I do myself, art or anything, it'll only be a few months after when I look at the drawing and be like, oh, it's actually really good. You know, I did that. At the time, I was like, nah. This could improve, that could improve. There's always something wrong. Yeah, the self-esteem, it has always been a big issue. Only this time last year, It was nearly, yeah. I applied for a job in the student union shop in Sligo. It has been amazing. It was amazing. It's the first time I've ever been able to work, and not the first time I've ever been able to work, the first time I've ever been able to keep a job due to my mental health, aka that underlying feeling of not being good enough, which then would lead to not being able to face the new job or the new activity, which then would go to me feeling shit about myself because I can't do it. Because take in mind, I am 25, so at the age of 22 even, never mind 22, the age leaving school, I was watching everyone around me go off to college or go work or work weekends even in school, have a job in school, and I couldn't do that. People that might have known of me at the time or whatever would probably, and I know for a fact, because I've heard things obviously, I know for a fact some people would have thought like, oh, what a dole daughter, like this one wants to do nothing, and this one never comes into school, she's out every weekend. You know, that's another topic we talk about. That's a separate thing. But all probably would have thought, you know, there's no drive, nothing. I promise you, I had more drive than anyone in my year. I have too much drive. In fact, like, to the point where I want to do things that well that I'm scared of failure. In turn, making me not want to try anything at all. Because if I fail, I'm crap. Can't believe how well I explained that in, what, 5 minutes now. I'm going to stop in a few minutes on this topic because this is just a chatty video. Obviously, if someone asks me after recording this to go into further detail on any of these topics that I'm bringing up, I would happily do it because I can talk. And yeah, that has been something that has been huge. I conquered it anyway. I've been working for the last year. Can't believe I'm saying that. Okay, there's been slip-ups in between, but not half as many as there could have been. And they all taught me. Any slip-up I had taught me something for the next slip-up, if there was one. Example, I felt very fearful of going into work and really didn't want to go, which I got really upset, let's say, and I cried, and in turn that made me late one day. The next time that happened, I knew that that was just my brain, and that once I got into work, it wasn't going to be how I thought it was going to be. Yeah, they've all been learning curves. This whole year I've learned a lot about myself and things that I need to do to keep myself from burning out and from listening to the bad and acting on the bad. You know, things to keep the good in perspective, like to keep everything in perspective and not lose sight of the good when something bad happens or when I feel bad, to not lose sight of all the positives. I have coming to like the part of where I'm at right now, I have come to be in a bit of a low patch again. I've burnt out massively. I have a lot of stress at the minute with college. I wouldn't say conflict, but we'll call it conflict. But some conflict in my personal relationships. General, like, just life changes happen that I've really struggled with. I've been I think this should move us on to the next topic in a minute, but basically I have decided to call it quits with work for the remainder of college, because the two at the same time, although I'm only working part-time with college, it's just got to be too much, and I've burnt myself out by trying to do YouTube, college and work, and like they're just my goal and aspiration side of things. Like, I've still been keeping my house in check, like I've still been doing my chores and tasks to do with like the house, you know, washing every day, fucking washing up, cooking, trying to just keep a good diet. That for a while went out the window. So I've been keeping up everything. Socializing I have slacked on, but still been managing to fit it in as of late, and it's all just got on top of me, and I've had enough. Today was the day I was like, no. It wasn't me. My body, my mind was just like, no. There was no good, you know what I mean? In terms of, I was trying to talk myself into a positive mindset, and I was trying to tell myself that I could do it and all, but I couldn't. I don't know, but a lot of people might watch that and go like, what do you mean you couldn't? It's all a mindset, you know, you're in control. Yes, the majority of the time you're in control of your mind, but I think it's very important for people to realize and become aware that it isn't always the case. When mental health, I don't even like saying mental health anymore, because I feel like it's so there's such a like stigma around it, you know, a lot of people don't even believe in it, sort of thing. So I feel as though I'm just being judged every time I say this. But when it comes to like mental health issues or any issue at all that anyone has, you cannot judge or make a judgment or go, you know, what are they on about? You know, their life's great. Like, they were only doing part-time in college and they're not able for it. So weak. And like, yeah, those kind of things, they're not applicable. Like, yes, you may be able to work a full-time job and go to college and socialize, and you might be fucking on it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then going to work and then going to college at the same time, all the time. For me, I just can't. I can't do it. And I think, yeah, it's very easy to make a judgment unless you're in someone's position and understand exactly every detail of what their personal life is like. You think you know it all looking from the outside, you know, looking at my life. It looks fucking sweet. My life is sweet majority of the time because I'm grateful for every little thing. Like, I get a bit of sun, I'm like, thank you, like, you know, that's all I want today. But even on those days when I have those great days, there's always stuff going on in my life that isn't good, you know? And it's the same in everyone's. And that's something I have come to realize, which has made me be a lot more okay with not being okay. When you realize that I used to think that everyone had it together and I was the only one, not that I was the only one, but I was one of very few people who were struggling and I was weak and just not able. Very, very few people are able all the time. Everyone has days where they kick it in and go, oh, I've had enough. It's those days then I've also learned that in time, as difficult as they seem in the moment, like even today, earlier this morning, you wouldn't have heard any of this optimism. I was different. But even, my point, sorry, these are the times that teach you things. And that's so cliche, but I know that this had to happen, the work, and all. I'm so, I feel crap about myself because of it. I'm a bum. I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. The only way for me to figure out what I do want to do is to go through this and not know for a while. Because how am I meant to figure out what I want to do if I'm in a job and I'm busy constantly on autopilot? I don't have time to even to learn and figure it out. It's not something you just know, There art and walks and life experiences are what show you that. Yeah, next topic. I think that's enough for that one. How long has it gone on? 13 fucking minutes. Shit. The next thing I suppose is relationships. Not romantic. That, thankfully for me, hasn't, and hoping it won't be an issue for ever again. I've learned too much from the 7/8/9 year. You could have put it as 9 years because we knew each other for maybe a year and a half, 2 years more than we were actually going out. That has taught me everything. I've not everything, but that has taught me more than enough in terms of romantic relationships and what I want and what I don't want forever. So through seeing my own parents, I know the good, I know the bad, I know what I don't want, and I know what I will put up with and what I won't put up with. And that it's never something I struggle to lay the law down on, if you get me, or something. It's not something I struggle to communicate anymore because I realised through the 8 years of never opening my mouth, opening my mouth but not being listened to, and then in turn not opening my mouth for a long time, firstly the damage it can do to you as a person, holding all the emotions in, but also that nothing will change unless it's spoken about. And more to the point, nothing should have to change, or nothing major should have to change in order for a relationship to not, you are not there to change the other person, basically, is what I learned. And if someone isn't really willing to make compromises, when you do confront them and talk about what it is that's bothering you, maybe about them or like your relationship or patterns that keep arising, if someone isn't willing to listen the first, maybe second time, maybe miscommunicated the first time around, let's say, if someone isn't willing after once or twice of you telling them that maybe something bothers you or you want something to change, just stop. Just leave. Turn the fuck around and walk away. Because for too long, I waited on someone to change, thinking that I was the one that was going to be able to make them change, and that they loved me that much that eventually they'd have to see how much hurt they were causing, and eventually it was going to be perfect and we were going to have a good relationship, and I was going to be happy eventually. You shouldn't have to wait. Life is far too short. romance is just not something I'm willing to sacrifice my own happiness or my own life things for, really. Like, I'm not going to give my whole self to someone again. Don't get me wrong, I will definitely and am and have, I have put my trust into people and given parts of myself to people and trusted people since. But my point is that, and I love, and I think it is absolutely beautiful to give yourself the majority of yourself, share yourself. Never give yourself, share yourself with someone. But all I'm saying is that you should never give all of yourself, because you need to keep your life. You need to keep your passions and the things that make you happy. Because when you lose them, you aren't happy. And when you're not happy, your relationship's not going to be happy. Don't get me wrong, that's not what happened in the case of my... Again, if anyone would like me to talk about this in detail, the relationship /s relationships that I did have in the past, and what I've learned and experienced and gone through. And don't get me wrong, what I've done, I am not a saint either. The ways I've acted in previous relationships. If anyone would like a full video speaking about this topic in general, again, let me know, because it's something I definitely would feel I'm very knowledgeable on and have a lot of experience on. Basically, at the minute, I have been, so not romantically, but in friendships, family relationships, been going through a lot of, I would say, grieving. That's the word I've been using. My time has been taken up quite a lot, and I live in Sligo, away from my home house. I haven't really been able to get home as much due to work, and then being exhausted, and then train journeys. And don't get me wrong, I don't live far from home, but by the time I get home, my mum works late and stuff, so some days I can't get home till 7. Therefore, I don't really get any time with her, because I'll have assignments to do when I get back, or she could be working. So yeah, haven't really been getting to spend time with or see my mum at all. She's very busy. She looks after my nanny and granddad. She is basically a full-time carer whilst working too. Someone who grew up stuck to my mother's side. Attachment issues. Still there, still present. They're great. It was very tough to move out in general at the beginning, but I had, I suppose, been wanting it so bad that for a good while it was great. And I suppose since things have got like harder, like with college and shit like that, I've been craving her like support, or like wanting her there more, and I haven't been able to, so that's been very difficult. I suppose thinking back a lot on how things were when I was a child compared to now, and grieving like the time I had, the lack of responsibility, the easiness, like how I'd wake up and just not think and just like do stuff. Like, I didn't care if it benefited my future or not back then. I'd just wake up and be like, I'm gonna watch Yogi Bear today. And that was just it. I was happy out. Grieving, I suppose, or like regretful of maybe how much I didn't appreciate all the time that I did have before life got busy and before I became an adult. And I really thought that, when people were saying like, you should love your younger years and all, they'll be gone. When people were saying that, I always was like, shut up, like, I'm gonna love being an adult. And don't get me wrong, I really think it's great. I do. There's so many pros, and my life is so much better in particular ways now than it was when I was a child. But it's also vice versa. Since I turned 25, I'm like, this is it. Like, I probably won't move home ever again. Me and my brother have kind of like not become distant, but he's growing up, and that is difficult. Like, he's so independent, which is amazing, and like, I'm so proud. but it's very hard. Again, we were like grown up like all the way through, and then for them to just suddenly be gone, or not gone, like we're still like close and stuff and hang out, but it's just hard. Like, it's just fucking hard. I'm not being like poor me by making this video. I suppose I want to tell myself mostly, but also everyone else and other people, that it is okay to be struggling, and like to find these things difficult and upsetting. It's nothing to be ashamed of, because I am. I am. My middle name is Shame. I feel so much guilt and shame for feeling it all, because I feel people don't like show they do as much, or never have really. It's actually, if anything, it is getting better. But I suppose I grew up I personally grew up feeling like, you know, feeling bad can't really happen. Life's too busy. There's no time. You have to be going to college. You have to be doing your work, earning money. And when you do feel bad, it's also as if people are like, it's okay not to be okay. But then when you don't, they're like, that's a bit weird. You're a bit negative. You're not very fun. But yeah, that's the relationship side of things. The last thing I'll discuss is probably feeling lost and directionless. I have always kind of been unsure, like not always, but on and off, I have been like undecided and unsure / doubting what career it is that is right for me, or that what it is I want to pursue as a career. I have so many passions, this being one of the main, probably the main. I love makeup, I love art, I love people. As much as I hate people sometimes, like, not people, but hate socializing sometimes, you know, I burn out. I love the part of getting to know someone and like learning about someone, anyone. It could be someone in the street, like just hearing where they've come from and what's happened to them. Get great fulfillment by like sharing experiences and stuff like that. Definitely want to go like down the route of maybe mental health, social studies kind of thing. I think this is what I mean. I don't know. It's not right. It'll lead me to where I do want to go. But yeah, I guess I just told myself there. The great thing about venting, you actually hear what you're saying. Like, I can't think of this. Everything I've said so far in this video is kind of not new to me, but I've given myself kind of an idea of what it is I should do about how I'm feeling. It's very hard to keep it all in and know what to do. Just feeling stuck, like, yeah, in and out of, do I go back to hairdressing? You know, I loved that. I loved making people feel good about themselves. Certain aspects of hairdressing that have kind of deterred me from going back though. Yeah, I'm just unsure of what to do next, basically. I think college is out for the year coming. I think I need a break to get my career. As of now, like, I need to work for a year to be able to even afford kind of to go anywhere else other than Sligo. I'm tired of college for that reason. I have kind of spent the year, some weeks were grand, and then some weeks were really, really hard money-wise. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the only one in that position, and I could be better off than a lot more people. I'm aware of that. But personally, that's just how it's been for me. And I don't know, I'm kind of tired of not being able to afford things that shouldn't really be privileges. I'm tired of that, really, and also tired of not being able to invest money into my passions. Again, I've kind of just put things into perspective for myself. I've just said it all out loud. I'm kind of giving myself some idea of where, like, some reassurance that maybe what I'm thinking is right, and maybe I should act on how I'm feeling and go with my gut. I am going to end this video here. Oh, the glare. I really hope that someone relates, if not benefits from it. If anyone would like to hear more of my experiences or opinions, or even get advice on any of the topics that I have brought up there, please let me know, because I'm obviously really enjoying the whole YouTube thing, and feel very passionate about it, and love like sharing my experiences. I'm an open book, so honestly, leave DM me or leave a comment, whatever. It's something to focus on when I do feel down. Very, very thankful. And I would like to say that I'm nearly at 300 subscribers, and I can't express the gratitude and the appreciation I have for the people who do watch. I'm gonna go now and do things. My phone battery is also about to die, so this was perfectly timed. And yeah, again, I'm just really glad I recorded this. And I'm not good at ending things / saying goodbye, because I get awkward. So bye.